Hello, hello, and welcome to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree with my girl Kemi, my girl Hannah. Hey, ladies, how y'all doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. You guys look literally so gorgeous. I just washed my face.
Also look gorgeous.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll get tons of chats about how beautiful you look, Kemi, because you're always glowing, always radiant. Everybody loves Kemi, so.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say it again?
Let's not feed it.
Thank you all for joining us. We're going to let people kind of come in, and while we do so, we just want to remind you to click like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that good stuff. That's how we know that you are supporting us, and we thank you so much for that support. Also, Super Chat is a great way to send us your comments and questions so that we see them and you're also supporting the channel. And by the way, if you have a question for our guest who is coming up, Super Chat is probably the way that we'll be able to make sure that doesn't get lost. Also, make sure you follow us all on our IG and our Instagram, all that good stuff. And so we are recapping the second episode of the challenge, Double Agents. I'm really excited because we have a great guest for you all. I'm sure you all already know. So we're just going to get to it and introduce him, because not only is it was his first time on the challenge, but he's also known as an America's Got Talent. He's an amazing man. Great energy, Kemi says. And we're just going to get onto it. And it's Mr. Joseph Allen.
That's good.
Hey.
Hey. We're so excited to have you.
No, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah, I was just telling Joseph before we started the chat that he has the best energy. Like, literally, I don't know if I'd have such a positive attitude getting eliminated from something. I mean, I would probably be out there throwing a fit. So props to you. Best energy. Love to see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I agree. Like, you had constantly this smile. The last two episodes, it was either this smile on your face and just like you were super chill. You didn't look nervous at all. Definitely not rookie energy, I will tell you that, because usually like,
No.
you know,
hide in the background.
No. But you didn't do that. So we're excited because we're excited to ask you questions, but we're gonna pretty much, the way we do things is we go from the way beginning and we just start recapping the episode. Is that cool, Joseph? I'm sure along the way we're gonna ask you a ton of questions. That we're gonna have people who are gonna get on and off and ask questions as well. You good?
Cool. Let's get it.
Yeah, okay. So we start off with the last elimination, and we see our girl, Ashley, Millionaire Mitchell. She is evicted. We had her on the show last week. We were devastated.
Evicted. Big Brother.
Sometimes I talk like I'm still on Big Brother, like Big Brother terms. Sorry, not evicted.
Eliminated.
So, and then we realized that CT is not gone with her. He's a free agent now, and he's gone rogue. And we find out that basically the next, I don't know, maybe you could tell us. Did you all know that the next elimination round was going to be a guy, and that it was going to go to CT?
I mean, that's just what we were guessing, you know, like as we'll be kicking it, like for me, like I'm asking the most questions because I had never seen the show beforehand, you know, and a lot of people they would I guess they would mention that because I was casted from America's Got Talent, you know, so a lot of people were like, yo, like what the heck, like where are they getting this guy from? So while I was there, like, it was true. Like I was trying to figure out like what's all going on. So on top of already not being super familiar like with the format of the show, that was the big question, is we were just figuring out like what happens next. And that's kind of what we figured, was that it'd be a dude's eliminations. And that's when my brain started turning.
That's what I was going to ask you next. So this is my first season watching the challenge, and I didn't know. So all of you are the same to me. I don't know who's been there, who hasn't. And so then I noticed you, and you don't really, like you said, like Kimmy said, you don't really give off that like rookie energy. But I wondered, like, if you had watched any before, and I want to know, like, why did you decide not to watch any before? Like, did you know any history of the players, like before you went in, or no?
So that's the thing. So it's not I didn't watch any. I didn't know what to focus on. So as I'm watching the show, I'm focusing on the challenges, the eliminations and stuff, and I'm focusing on the physical aspect. So I put on like 15 pounds of like weight before going on to the show. I did that like in a 2.5, 3 week period. It was literally, I just linked up with one of my friends in the NFL, and I was just like, all right, bro, this show looks like it takes like a lot of like physical strength. So I was like, let's get it. And whenever I would see like the talking and stuff, I would automatically assume that it was filler. So it was almost like trying to prepare for a quiz, but like the quiz is tomorrow. So you're like trying to hit like, so I thought the main focus was physicality. So whenever people would start talking and stuff, I'm like, yo, miss me with the fluff. Like, let me get, what I thought was the main, but the talking and stuff plays like a major role in this show.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes so much more sense.
I feel like people take like one of two approaches to it. There are people who take your approach, and then there are people who run right to like social media and Reddit and see like what the gossip is, like who's this person all about, and like et cetera, et cetera. And then some people just focus on like it's the challenge, like the physical aspect of it, because that's like 90%, like 60% of the game. So I mean, that's interesting. So I guess my biggest question is, when you got into the house, who were you excited to kind of form a relationship with? Like, was there instantly like, okay, like that's me, like this is like my crew right here?
I don't think there was anybody that I was specifically like, because even during like the casting process and stuff, like they would ask me like, who in the house, like if we bring into the house with like you have a crush on and all this different stuff. And I was like, apologize. I was like, I'm sorry, but like I'm not too familiar, but I was like, honestly though, like once I got there, like my curiosity was turned on everyone. Like I was just like, who are you? Like, what do you do for a living? Because that's also but that's also like what played like a major part in like my preparation for the show. Because as I was going on to it, like everyone does different stuff, right? Like Nicole's like a firefighter, like everyone has like their own occupations and stuff. And for me, like I'm a musician and an entrepreneur, so like I didn't have a lot of I guess we just all came from like different backgrounds. And to answer the question, it was just a lot of curiosity for like everyone and like their, I guess, lives they live outside of the show.
Yeah.
And my fault if I be cheesing a lot. That's just like a part of what I do.
Don't apologize for that. It's a good thing.
Yeah, don't apologize, because it's basically what we saw the last 2 episodes. So
you were the one in the group photo that was smiling, right?
Yeah. Like it's very hard for me, like not to be smiling. Corey, I got like some DMs from him where we'll just be making fun of some stuff, because honestly, everything from the flight to Iceland to like once we got there, like I was just like tripping on the whole experience. Like I remember when we got on the plane, I'm like, bro, look, like there's TVs like on the back of the seats. And everybody's like, yo, like on any international flight, like there's TVs on the back of the seat. But I was like, I usually be flying Spirit, baby. Like I'm not used to this. So everything from there. And then once we get to Iceland, like Corey kept making fun of me because I'd be like, bro, look, like this is Iceland grass. Like this isn't the US. He was like, bro, are you talking about the grass now? So it was like, I don't know. Like, I was just like real, like excited to be out there, really.
But that's good. Like just taking in the experience, just happy to be there. That's like such a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
someone in the comments though is saying that, Hannah, you beautiful. Hannah, I was thinking the same thing, but then I tried hopping on your Instagram real quick, look like you're in a relationship or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll keep it real casual. But I agree with Shorty in the comment section for sure.
Well, thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it.
So, Joseph, when did you realize that you weren't in Kansas anymore? Like you said, oh, everything was all cheesy, everything was all great. When did you realize, oh shit, like I don't this ain't what I thought it was gonna be? Or did you get to a point where you figured that out?
Yeah, no, like I mean, life in general is gonna throw punches. So it's like regardless, like I've always been in a position to like find silver linings because I think the way I was raised, like I grew up like in a blended family where like by the time I was 2, like my mom and my biological dad were like remarried with like completely different like families and stuff. So I would bounce back and forth and I gained like a lot of independence because like by the time I was in middle school, like if I didn't show up at my mom's house, she would just assume I was at my dad's and vice versa. So I've always had like a lot of freedoms and I got to see a lot of hardships like early on, but not only like see them, but also be like, all right, cool. Like that's life. You know what I mean? So once I got there, like it was like, okay, people are going to politic, people are going to do all these different things. I know for me, I'm a very straightforward guy, which is why, you know what I'm saying, I made the decision I made. But I think the only moment where it was like, oh shoot, like I really got myself into something is during the elimination. Like it was almost really similar to like racing motocross for me growing up, where it was like there's moments where you're forced to like look at the reality. And I think the reality that I saw is when I was on the ground, someone else also asked, they were like, yo, is there stuff they like edited out? And yeah, for sure. Like I got a couple messages from some of the other contestants where you know, certain things were said that kind of like give me like, I guess like some closure in a way. But yeah, there were moments where Devin would like yell out to Kyle. Me and Devin were playing chess one night and we're just talking about life. And I tell him how I like race motocross going up and we start talking about like my injuries and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like I got a screw in my right arm. I got a 4-inch plate, 8 screws in my left wrist, all this stuff. But while I'm down there with Kyle, Devin starts yelling. And I also have like 2 anchors and like 4 ropes like in my left shoulder, like holding my whole shoulder together and everything. And Devin starts yelling out to Kyle. He's like his left wrist, break his left wrist. And Kyle literally like takes his hands like off the ring, grabs my wrist and starts cranking on it to snap it. But nah, I'm still not tripping because I'm like, all right, cool, like let's rock. The moment I start tripping is while he's doing this, when I hear like Devin and whoever else is, you know what I'm saying, rocking with Devin and what he had going on. Once I heard them start to like cheer that on, because then it hit me. I was like, yo, like, nah, if homie actually does like snap my wrist right now, like the first thing I'm gonna hear is like some celebration, you know? And I was like, whoa, like, yeah, I'm like, I'm in a whole different country, man. I'm like, the first thing I would want, like if a bone breaks is like, yo, are you all right? Like that's what motocross is like. Like the reason I have these injuries is from motocross, but it was like when you would get broke up, you know, someone would see you on the track and it's like, hey, yo, you good? But I was like, nah, the first thing I would hear is just some like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. But there was more than that. There was a part where like he pulls my arm through the ring, starts twisting on it to try and break my arm because he finds out like there's a screw in there. Like there was a lot that, you know what I'm saying?
And it's that type of stuff that makes, like, I bet if you went back on another season, you'd be reluctant to open up about things like that because they might use it against you and they might, you know, throw it in your face.
Man, I mean, it is what it is. Like, regardless, like, because my whole thing is, you know, off camera, like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, when the cameras are off, when you're back at home, like, what do you have going on, right? Like, that's some like real success right there. It's like when you wake up in the morning, like, what do you have going on? And it's like, I know for myself, like, I can't sleep at night if I carry myself certain ways. So, I mean, regardless, like, if I tell you some information, you choose to use it against me, it's like, all right, cool, like, fair play. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, it is what it is. You know, that's just how that man decided to carry himself, you know, at that specific point in time. But as you saw, I was still smiling afterwards, like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think that's the best like mindset that you can have going into these shows too, because at the end of the day, like it's just a show. Like it's not your life and like it's not what you're doing on an everyday basis. So like people that go into these like and make it their entire like identity, like I think it's good that like you have all of these other things about you, like outside of your shows that you've done. Like, it's so cool that you do like motocross and everything like that. Like, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Hannah.
That's Courtney, maybe we should just go.
No, don't.
I play. I'm still playing. I actually love it. Yeah, oh my God, I hate what you just said, Joseph, just because we know that it is very toxic, and especially in a game like the challenge, it does not surprise me.
Here, I'm gonna pull up some messages from my boy Nam. Now, of course, I'm not gonna give any spoilers or anything.
We're gonna receive on this show.
Lit up. You said Nam, and he's like,
no.
Yeah. Nam was low key like my best friend in the house, like, because he was also like people also saw like the clip where I was like, I fell asleep in the club. I really was like super super tired that night. But in terms of like just lifestyle off of the show, like me and Nam are very, very similar. So we connected on that a lot. And let me see here. So I had messaged him and I was like, yo, like, I'm sorry I had to leave so early. I was really hoping to inspire you by beating Kyle, but I wasn't strong enough, bro. And let me see here. He was like, next time, brother, I saw you played really fair and Kyle isn't a fair player. You're going to get revenge, bro. Hope you hadn't had any injuries afterwards, right? Now it's like, why the heck is the man talking about, injuries and stuff where what they showed on TV didn't seem like, all that bad. So I was like, yeah, I didn't think Kyle was going to play like that. Luckily, I wasn't hurt too bad. Dude tried breaking my arm. And he was like, I saw that, and he put the ring on you to choke you. Was crazy to see, but glad to see you're all fine. So it's like, there's a lot that like, but I gotta say thank you to the show. Like it for real showed me, like, they let me back on. Like, I know how I'm coming this time. So it's like, it's all fair play. It's all fair play. It's just the only thing is I wasn't able mentally to like take it to a certain level. And I'm still not. But all that means is that if I go back on there, I need to come 2, maybe 3 times stronger than what I did. And also know how to use like the strength that I gain in a certain way. Because if you're not willing to play a certain way, you got to at least be able to outmuscle, and all that different stuff. So, it is what it is.
So what would you say would be your biggest takeaway from it?
Biggest takeaway, choose the right partner. I feel like that's where it all went downhill for me, honestly.
So
we have some questions about that.
We got because we're not even there yet. We're not there yet. Like, it goes from before. Obviously, I was gonna say there is a lot of tension between Big T and yourself. Big T, it being her 3rd season, obviously she was in it to win it. As well, so she kind of had that mentality. She knew that there were that she needed numbers. She was more or at least the way the edit looked like she was really thinking more on the strategic level of hooking up with enough numbers to be able to have you all safe for a good hot second. What were the two, like, why were you two so disconnected?
I think mostly it was just from the jump when I would try and like be like, all right, cool. Like, look, I'm new here. I'm trying to figure out, what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to Miss History. You know what I'm saying? For what we got, $15. That's love, baby.
Miss History is our girl. She is constant supporter. Thank you, boo, for your support. He said, hey, ladies, and Joseph, I love you on the show and the confidence you showed. Your Mistletoe remix is giving me Boondocks vibes. Everyone cop the album tomorrow. This man be saying it.
Oh, shit.
I don't think I heard the Mistletoe remix, but I will.
Oh, yeah.
We got to make sure to plug at the end of the episode tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Too easy.
Thank you, Miss History. But yeah, so back to Big T. What was it?
It was just like from the jump, like I said, I'm very straightforward. So for me, like I feel like that's part of the reason I'm able to like smile through a lot of things, is because it's like I never allow something to like really like fester like super long. Like even like I said, even during the elimination, like you see like once it's over, it's like I see the reality of things and it's like, all right, cool. Like so when I started speaking with her, it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. It's my first season here. Here's what I'm hearing on this side of the house. You know, what are your thoughts on this? And the fact that, you know, we're having this conversation, of course, like off camera and everything, but nah, once she didn't like open up the same way and stuff. And then I was like, yo, like the house is planning, you know what I'm saying, to like make some big moves on the champs. But she was like, but it was week 1, like when Ashley goes into the elimination, I'm gonna show you what I paid attention to. I'm gonna show you where my disconnect came from, because I can only speak from my own perspective. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was in the right or in the wrong. That's for y'all to decide. You know what I'm saying? That's why they make the show. So from my perspective, right? Week 1, when everybody's like, all right, we're gonna throw in Ashley, CT, you know, West, like we're gonna try and get rid of some big names. I tell Big T, like, hey, yo, this is how the house is planning to vote. And Big T, she like pulls me to the side and she's like mad nervous, mad scared. But at first she's like, okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but I'm like, man, where did the hesitation come from? But it was after that she comes back up to me and she's like, Joseph, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm not gonna vote for Ashley. I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, and then she's like, I'm gonna do a burn vote on Kyle. And I'm like, okay, like convince me. Tell me why. You know what I'm saying? Break it down to me. And she's like, oh, well, you know, like I just don't want to vote for Ashley because I'm in the same room as her. And like I really like her, you know, and like I don't want her to be mad at me and all this different stuff. And I'm like, yo, but I'm your partner. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm like loyal to like, you know, Ashley and she's my friend, you know, but I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, it's a game that we're playing right now. And like, here's the strategy. So I start paying a little bit of attention then she comes up to me again and she's like, yo, like, I don't think I'm gonna do a burn vote on Kyle because that's my friend, you know, and I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm like, yo, so then I ask her, I'm like, I'm always straightforward. So I'm like, yo, is this something I'm gonna have to deal with? And she said, what do you mean? And I was like, the indecisive nature of how you're making your decisions right now. Because I was like, if you can't make up your mind, you got to understand that puts me in a corner because it's like, I don't know if I can trust, you know what I'm saying, any decisions that you're making. And then at that moment, she's like, oh, I'm going to just vote like Lolo and Nam. And, you know, and I'm just like, whoa, like, but why? And then also, why are you changing your mind like this? And at that moment, I was just like, man, I need to be careful what the heck I say around this girl. Because I was like, man, she can mess around and, you know, blow a whole lot of things. So that's where my disconnect came from. I was like, I don't know if I could trust it. And then clearly I couldn't.
Let me tell you, when you said to her, you remind me of my ex-girlfriend, I was like, it's over for them. Like their shit, their relationship is done.
Yeah, and that was honestly something that I did because I was all just using like applied psychology. Like and again, that's also the same reason why I ended up like going into the elimination. So long story made short to where we can knock out more questions. The reason I said that was because at this moment I'm noticing like her temper because she decided to have this conversation in like the kitchen area where people could see. So I'm like, okay, you're trying to cause a scene right now when we could have had this conversation, you know, in any other place that's like more secluded. So at this moment, I'm trying to see where's her threshold of like, where's her top blow? Because I'm like, at this moment, clearly there's no like bringing back from this. You're already trying to sabotage. The cameras are here and everything. You're creating this dialogue. So now I'm like, all right, cool. Like, if you want to create dialogue and you want to embarrass me, it was more like a jab, like, well, because the camera's here, if I say this, now it's going to put you in a corner because now you got to think, oh, what are the viewers at home going to think of me if this dude starts throwing jabs as well? So it was more like, I'm going to throw a jab right now to see one, how you're going to take it and show you as well, like, because you're trying to create a specific storyline to play your partner, now I got to start, you know what I'm saying, playing your game as well. So that was that. But also at that moment is when I decided, like, well, shoot, like, if she is diabolical and up to scheming something, my whole thought is if I'm getting voted into an elimination this week, right, there's two ways this could play out in my head. Joseph becomes the first guy to get voted into an elimination and he's blindsided by it. So he doesn't create like a lot of noise for himself. He goes into elimination. And then if he happens to go home, he was a guy who got blindsided, got sent home, and didn't make a lot of noise for himself. I'm like, okay, well, if this is potentially an option, I need to make as much noise as possible, because if I'm able to make a lot of noise and if I go into an elimination and I happen to win, then they have to put respect on me, because dude basically let his nuts hang and was like, yo, I'm here to play. Secondly, he goes in there, and if he's able to come back in, because I was like, if it's anything like Ashley and Natalie's elimination, I was like, man, I could rock out with pretty much anybody on that. But, you know, it ended up being what it was. But then my thought was, but if I do happen to go home, it was on my own choice rather than getting blindsided and, you know, not really making a name for myself. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's get it. So that's why at the deliberation, the first thing I say is, let's start some drama. I was like, you know what? We're going to get some ratings, if anything, if I'm about to go home.
I think it's the hardest part. That's the hardest part with the challenge, is like you coming in as a rookie and then saying now it makes more sense, you not watching the show and you not understanding these bonds, because people who have watched Big T and her seasons and her seasons know that her and Ashley were actually they were actually allies, and they have been past times that she's been with Big T pretty much since the beginning. And they also not only play, but they play thinking about the following seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Big T's like, I'm not going to vote her out because I still need to play with her next season, and I want to ally, or she, you know. So it's just like so much more that I feel like maybe if y'all two could have communicated a little bit better,
right.
That
was the biggest thing. Was the
no disrespect on Big T, because I obviously only know what you're telling us. So I'm just kind of trying to see like the communication. But
yeah,
I also think that, you know, Big T might not have felt this same way if it was her first season. Like, it's kind of like a trial and error sort of thing. So like, Joseph, you going back next season, like, you might approach it a similar way as Big T did. So, you know, it's all
because you'll know that it's more it's now starting not just the physical strength, but it's all of the politic and wanting. And I mean, a lot of these challenge players, they go season after season after season. So it is a little bit about what am I going to do now that could affect me in, you know, the following next year, 2 years or something.
And that challenge has just recently started being played like that. Like, I think around like 30, I think like around 32, 33 is when like all of the politicking started super, super heavy. Obviously, with the addition of like the Big Brother players, Natalie like brought that in a lot in her first season. Like, it started getting very like, let's get all the numbers heavy than how it used to be played. So
that's one thing I don't like that much about this show is like, I just like coming in new and not seeing it before. Like, I get the appeal and I like that there are like more second chances for people and they can come and play multiple times. But also I feel like it makes people like just kind of scared to do anything that would shake anything up. Because then they're like, well, what am I going to do for the next 5 years of my life when I play with them and they're mad at me? Like, I don't know. I just wish people weren't like so worried about like that far in the future. It'd just be more fun, like if they just did whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what I said in an interview the other day, where it was just like, yo, like as a rookie, like I didn't come in expecting like, all right, I'm finna come in here, especially because I wasn't well versed with the show. If I had like a serious knowledge on the game and I've been studying it, I've been like, all right, cool, let's see if I could, take the whole thing first year. But I was like, I got to get a hands-on learning experience. So for me, it was just, create as much noise as possible. See what you could, mess up before you get out of here.
Yeah, there was somebody that asked a question that said, if you won the elimination against Kyle, who would you have picked as your new partner? Natalie.
I told Natalie. I told Natalie before the elimination, because once I knew like me and Big T weren't gonna get along, like everyone after. Because a lot of the guys came up to me and they were like apologizing. They were like, dude, I'm so sorry your partner, would like start acting like that and doing stuff like that. And that's what made me think like, oh yeah, that's right. Like she could have brought me to the side, and we had this conversation. So at that point, like everyone pretty much knew like, yeah, that's not gonna last, especially once we knew the rules where you could switch partners. It's like, all right, bet. Like I'm not about to tell you nothing because I'm gonna get rid of you. And then once I like switch partners, like you can't know, what I'm up to. So yeah, like I went up to Natalie and I was like, yo, like I'm gonna steal you from Wes. Like I told her straight up, I was like, yo, like be careful. Like I hope you're not too attached to your boy because I'm sending him home. That's how I was coming at it.
You have big energy going.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of stuff they didn't put in there. Like literally right after I call out Wes at the deliberation, like he got nervous. And you know how like when you're gonna get in trouble when you get home, so you get tired and you just like need to like lay down and just like, sit down somewhere. He's laying down and like I'm trying to make sure homie's ready. So like I'm bringing him water and everything. And I'm like, bro, like I just want to make sure, like once me and you get down there, I don't want no excuses. Like if I send you home, I don't want it to be I wasn't hydrated. I wasn't like
wow.
I was coming right. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. All right.
It.
Well, we're gonna talk. I want to talk about the challenge before the elimination, obviously, because we skipped all over that. Before, I just want to thank James Norman. Thank you so much for your support. If we can follow Kemi and Just Rob, is that on? Is that a Twitter handle? Let us know if that's a Twitter handle.
Limit us on Twitter. We'll follow you.
Yeah, we'll follow. So let's talk about the challenge, the kill pills, okay? These kill pills. Walk us through. I want to know how cold was that ice and like what you were experiencing. How cold is ice? What you and Big T were thinking, and if you guys were in sync, and why nobody was targeting Anissa and Fessy.
Yeah. Nah, so I came up in my head with a master plan for this game. And so my whole thought was, and you let me know what you think. My whole thought was we were unaware of who was targeting us, right? So I'm like, all right, look, hear me out, Big T. Like, here's what we're going to do. And she agreed. I told her what we were going to do. We're going to swim out there. We're going to get a block of ice. We're just going to set it down. We're going to go out there. We're going to get another block of ice. We're just going to set it down. We're going to go out there. We're trying to get a third block of ice. We're going to set it down. I told her the last thing we want to do is start putting kills in random stations and creating enemies that maybe aren't even enemies. So I told her what we're going to do is by the time we get our hands on a third block of ice, we'll be able to look around. We'll see who's been targeting us. At that moment, all we do is we target the team that target us. We target them back. And then this game will allow us to see who's coming after us. But then on top of that, we don't create any more enemies. And she was down. And we found out that Devin and Nicole, they were the only ones that came over to our station. And then Michi and Liv were right next to us. And we told them, we were like, yo, like, finish us off. Like, to where, because we're not trying to win this when we saw Fessy and we saw everything that was going on. So we're like, yo, like, we don't even want people looking in our direction. So it was like, look, polish us off, get us finished with, and we'll know because we asked you guys, we'll put one back in you guys. And it's all fair game. And like shortly after that, like Michi went to the hospital because he got like frostbite or whatever. And that whole game was an intense one for sure. I think just due to the circumstances of like the cold water, how it was affecting everybody. Because it felt like fire. Like once you start swimming, once the water hits your neck, like it literally burned. It was crazy. And I think everyone pretty much got frustrated like when we saw like the stalemate that happened, because it's like, whoa, like how much power is Fessy and Anissa like really rocking with right now? It was an eye opener for sure. We all talked about that a lot once we got back to the house. It was just like, what's going on here? We honestly thought like, is there any way like they're not gonna have power for like this whole season?
It's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that. Like, I would assume that there would be some sort of Big Brother alliance, or at least like a CBS alliance or something.
Yeah.
Let them win a second time in a row. Like, why not Josh and Cam, or why not whoever else? So
yeah.
I just don't understand it. And I know that there's like, you guys didn't know this, but for them to have been allowed 2 like weeks or whatever in a row of being the only ones to know exactly where everyone was voting, like that, I feel like that's really big, because they really could see like who was falling with each other. and no one else had that. Like, and I know you guys didn't know that, but still, that's such a fumble. Like, ugh.
Yeah,
man.
I know, Hannah.
I saw your quick live with Fessy, because I think that's what you figured when you found out that he could actually see. This was the first time you watched this, right? You were watching with the rest of us?
Because he FaceTimed me the other day. He was just like, bro, like, it was like definitely like no hard feelings and stuff. And I was like, yeah, bro, like, of course not. I was just like, dang, like, I was like, I just didn't know where you was coming from, you know, because I was like, you know, like, you knew who I wanted, you know, and he was like, bro, it's like more to it than that. And I trusted him on that. Like, I don't, like, literally no one, like, I don't have no hard feelings on Devin for wanting my body all broke up. I don't have no hard feelings on Kyle. Like, I'm like,
I don't know about that.
Like, no. Like, that's literally just how I carry myself. Like, even, I kid you not, after around, so, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna say too much because I don't know how much, you know what I'm saying, MTV would appreciate, you know, details and stuff, but I can say there was a part like after he pulls my arm through the ring and like starts twisting on it, and of course at this one I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, like, is anybody gonna like stop this? You know what I mean? Like, but that was what it was. But the very next like reset, like when we're laying on the ground, like I'm literally like giggling and I'm looking at Kyle and I'm like, bro, this is crazy, bro. Like, we are really out here. Like, I don't know, like, I'm super weird. Like, I don't really like
he's trying to break your arm and you're laughing like, this is crazy.
I'm literally we're on the ground and we're like like gassed out and I'm like, bro, like, this is wild. Now what, like, you know, based on circumstances though, it led to where, you know, all I could do was hang on to it. But
see, I feel like you're like the boyfriend at the restaurant, and then you know how the girlfriend's always like, you got his order wrong, to the way.
Yeah, and then I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, hey, yo, don't worry about it. I would prefer the French fries over the mashed potatoes. You know, if you can make that happen, I'd appreciate it. You know, it's no problem though. You know, like, I don't sit there and, you know, flame somebody up on decisions they make.
I feel like that's our personalities. We're the ones like, no, this is not, like, this isn't what he asked for. This is what he paid for.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So when Fessy FaceTimed me, it was just like, yeah, nah. So then once I saw the full episode, that's when we were on the Instagram live. It's like, bro, I heard you, but like now I hear you. And then I felt bad because I was like, I wish I could have, like, you know, really done what I had to do. Because even when he FaceTimed me, like, he was on some like, bro, like, what the freak happened, man? Like, cause I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, I had that game, but, you know, due to circumstances, I didn't. So, you know, that just really makes me wish like things went a certain way. But, you know, I'm gonna keep some stuff vague. You know, make sure I don't catch no fines or nothing.
Do you think you would have had more success in that elimination against Wes?
Honestly, I feel like I would have had. I'm gonna say this, and y'all take it for whatever it is. I think I would have had more success in that elimination if I wasn't a rookie.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I could see that. So big.
Like if you were to fight dirty, and
what's up?
Like if you were to play dirty the way everyone else was playing dirty instead of playing clean.
I mean, you saw a little bit of like takedowns and stuff like that. Like, just I couldn't, you know, do that too many times without, you know. So that's all I'm gonna say.
So Big T said that, and she kind of like mentioned that you didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, she mentions this in the show. You didn't want to talk to anybody. You didn't want to build any alliances. You were sleeping. You were doing all this stuff. And I feel like the edit kind of did you dirty like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got.
Did you though? Were you trying to build? Were you trying to build an alliance? And if so, who were the people that you were trying to mess with?
Yeah. I was already rocking. I was right. Like, you saw it. Fessy was upset, you know, when he saw how the vote came out, because like there was something that we were trying to build. Fessy, it was his second year, so because of that, you know, he could relate with rookies really easily. I mean, we having conversations where it's like, hey, yo, no, this season it goes a little bit different for like the rookies and stuff like that. So I was heavily rocking with Fessy, which is why, you know, like he felt the need to call like afterwards, because it's like, hey, yo, like you got to understand, like that move I pulled wasn't against like what we had going on, you know. But on top of that, it was Corey, and I mean pretty much everyone who voted otherwise, except for Leroy. Leroy voted for me because we were in the same room and he felt my energy. He was just like, all right, well, if you want it, you know. And he told me that afterwards. He was like, bro, like I voted for you, man. Like, because Leroy was like, I guess more of like I almost said fatherly figure. Leroy was like like an older brother, you know. So no, I had Corey, Fessy, Nam, Corey, Fessy, Nam. I thought Jay until I saw the I say Jay as well. I think everyone in the room just matched my energy because of how I was speaking. But it wasn't like I wasn't like talking to anybody or anything. It's just I wasn't alliancing up with like her people that she was alliancing up with, you know.
Which would probably be the issue there, right? Because was one of her people.
And that's what I told her. I was like, before I started, because they say she didn't know I was going to talk the way I talked during the deliberation. I told her beforehand. I was like, you already know it's a win-win if I go into an elimination. So I was like, don't even worry about nothing, you know. And she was like, and pretty much I could see the look on her face. She's like, all right, cool. Go down there if you want. You know, I was like, all right.
Yeah, like guys' elimination. She's not bothered by that. So
exactly. So okay, so. Did you know watching the show, and now that you got eliminated, when you got eliminated, were you wondering why in the world Fessy didn't vote West? It was yesterday your first time figuring it out?
I just trusted him when he said there was like more to it. I was just like, all right, cool. Like, you know, at the moment, like I was hurt because I was confused. Like I'm down there ready to rock out with West. So when I hear him say, Wes, you owe me one, Kyle, I was just like, what? But the reason was because Fessy was upset, you know what I'm saying, with Kyle's like lying and stuff. So it's like he weighed his options and he's like, you know, I got a game to play as well. But nah, like at the moment it was like, dang, really? But then after that, I was just like, all right, let's rock out. And honestly, what went through my head was Kyle's elimination with Theo, where Kyle's legs was like buckling and shaking as he was like trying to carry like some like heavy stone or something like that. So I really just started staring at his legs like before the elimination. I was trying to see if man put in work over the off season, you know.
Oh my god.
I mean, we gotta love the energy.
I'm telling you, if I had brought some like Dijon mustard or something, things would have went different. It's the fact that I forgot about you licking that mustard
packet. You know what's funny though? So I ran track and cross country when I was younger, and we had people that would do the same thing. So like when you were doing that, I was like, okay, I mean that's normal. And then they cut to other people that were like, what the hell is this person doing? And I was like, oh, I've never seen this.
Dang, now what event did you run, Hannah? What event did you run in track?
Oh, I don't want to talk about my track and cross country experience. I was not good. I was not good. But anyways, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
So, how old are you?
How old do you want me to be?
Just answer my questions. I was asking because I wondered if you were the youngest one there on the show.
I was.
Were you the youngest?
Yeah. No. I think I saw you just graduated college, right? Yeah, I'm 23.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm 22, but I just wondered because I wonder if that like played into the game for you. Like, do you feel like that was like a disadvantage for you, like being the youngest one there? Or
no? No. Like I said, like it's all for me. It's all. I always think long term. I think longevity, and I think of brand imaging a lot, right? Like my goal, like where I live at and stuff, like my goal is to make sure like by the time I'm like 26, 27, like there's certain monetary goals that I have, and that all comes from like an entrepreneur mindset and stuff. So my whole thing is longevity, right? And considering I was the youngest guy in the house, like I knew like if they want to call me back, like, okay, well, I need to like learn like exponentially. I need exponential growth in this aspect. And on top of that, I also had to think about like my own brand and stuff like that. And my brand is all about, you know, like making bold decisions, all that different stuff. So down the line, when I'm 26, 27, and when I'm at a barbecue or something, like people can't look at me and be like, oh yeah, you remember that one time you like didn't line up with like your character? You know what I mean? Like, nah, just once I got on there and being 23 or whatever, it was like, regardless of being the youngest person in here, like I still got to like, you know, try and make sure like I rock out with a certain type of energy, you know. But on top of that, like it did allow it to where like when conversating with people, I did approach, I guess, a lot of conversations with like a little brother mentality where it's like, hey, like how does this stuff work? Like what am I doing here? Like what, you know what I'm saying, typically happens around this stage, like all that stuff. Like being the youngest person in there, I think definitely came with an advantage because it made me feel like I didn't have as much to lose as someone who, you know, is like, how much longer can I do this reality TV stuff?
Yeah,
you know?
it sounds bad, but like your shelf life is like longer at this point.
Yeah,
I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, God damn, Miss History, what the heck? Yo, hit my PayPal for real. Dude.
Joseph, I'm done with you right now. Really?
Man.
Can someone please turn that goddamn? Can you turn that to a GIF so I can use that later?
We're gonna do that. No, when we say Miss History takes care of it, that is our girl. She's our number one supporter. Thank you so much, Miss History. But this was for you, Joseph, because she's saying, Joseph, remember that there can only be one winner. Take these friendships outside of the show with a grain of salt. They're trying to build for next season and have no line when it comes to what they won't do for the prize. But that's
so hear me out. So that's actually something I want to address. So that's everyone's mentality on the show, right?
Absolutely.
Take these relationships as a grain of salt, all this different stuff. But that's not my character. So when I'm, you know what I'm saying, really thinking about another person, like you got to realize the 4 squares that are on this screen right now, right? These are all different people that have like different things going on in life, but also different problems as well, right? Like for example, like you never know if someone just lost a loved one. You never know if someone, you know, is going through relationship problems. You never know if someone's going through like all these different things. So because of that, heck no, don't take any relationship as a grain of salt. Like even if they want to take their relationship with me as a grain of salt, right? It's like you can do that, but when it comes to how I think about you, like that doesn't mean I gotta change up. That doesn't mean I don't have to like with Kyle, for example, like I couldn't try and break his stuff and all because from my whole thing, it's like, yo, like from what I did see on Instagram, I think homie has like a shorty back at home and stuff. Like I'm not gonna feel good if I beat him because a piece of his body is broken. And now in the back of my head, it's like, okay, homie's back in the UK, but his real life is now affected. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you are trying to like, you know what I'm saying, mess with my real.
You are so pure. Like,
I hope and
remember when I was like that.
Than you.
I remember when I was like that, when I was just so like, you're so nice. And like, I hope you stay that way for the rest of your life, especially in this reality TV world. Like, I really hope you like maintain that part. But I think what Miss History is getting at is kind of like the way I see things. And Jessica tells me that I need to like lighten up all the time. But when you constantly pour into other people's cup and then like they're not pouring anything back, like eventually like you can't pour from an empty cup, you know? So
right. And that's actually, that's funny you say that. I actually have a tray that has crusty water on, like water spots on it right now, because I was actually giving that same exact example to a friend. And in terms of you mentioning that, that's also the thing, was like I was never looking for these homies to like pour into me. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I got like a whole crap ton of stuff that pours into me. One, like if we're gonna break it down, like in terms of my personal beliefs, like I am a Christian, so because of that, like henceforth, that might be why homie would sleep in the club. Like that's just not, you know what I'm saying, his typical scene. But also I know my past, right? Like I know I done messed up a couple shorties' hearts because of like how I would carry myself. So one of the things they also didn't show, Amber B, right? Like we stayed up till like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning one night, and Lolo Jones comes up to me in the club the second time we're in the club, and she's like, yo, like Amber's upset with you right now. And I'm like, why? because she's like, yo, Amber thought you were gonna like make a move last night, but you didn't. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, like I wasn't even.
With
yes.
Miss Big Brother B, like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know.
This is like.
They need to add
That's
this into
big information. Oh my god.
There's a lot y'all don't know, but yeah, like literally like stuff like that where it's like my whole thing is like I had to apologize to Amber where I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, but like in the past, like because of decisions I made, you know, there's shorties that, you know, to this day feel some type of way because like I didn't like provide like a specific type of life that maybe was imagined or like, you know, like settled into. So because of that, like I didn't come onto the show to try and like, you know, have a showmance and stuff like that. Cause it's like, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna see you off this show. I don't know if we're gonna rock out like that. So I'm not gonna take advantage of like you being in a vulnerable position where you don't have your phone, you don't have all this different stuff. And now I'm leading you on because it's like that's not, but then also brand imaging, right? Like I said, I got an end goal. And my agenda is entrepreneurship. Once it's all said and done, a lot of people are going to put respect on like what I got going on because it's like I'm always thinking about the finish line. So because I'm thinking about the finish line and at 26, 27, if I'm trying to show up, you know what I'm saying, at universities or high schools and stuff and inspire the next generation of dreamers, I can't have them talking about, oh yeah, we hear you, but like, what about that time you smashed Shorty in the bathroom and then forgot about her? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, I can't do that type of stuff. So, you know, it's like in terms of my cup, like, shoot, I got a puppy that's taking a nap right here. You know what I'm saying? He pours into me. I got my family, but on top of that, it's my faith. It's my belief. Like we only here for a short amount of time, and keep pouring your cup out. And then once it gets empty, just pray to God that He gonna put the right people in your life to get that back into you, and then just keep giving it.
That's so true.
You're from the South, aren't you?
What's up? I'm from the South. Yeah, I grew up in Texas,
from the
baby.
South.
Yeah, I grew up in Texas. I think I'm planning to take a trip to Tennessee here pretty soon, though.
I heard we got too many COVID cases. They're locking our borders.
Yeah.
Wait, so Joseph, before we let you go, I know Galaxy Ghost says, I don't understand why Fessy didn't go down and try to get his skull if he saw physical elimination. And this is one of the things that I think you guys were talking about, you and Fessy were talking about on his live, because y'all didn't know this was going to be a physical competition. Yeah?
Good. Yeah, but then on top of that, like, I actually beat up Fessy. I beat him up. They didn't put that on camera. Like, I dropped dude in the backyard during a workout session. Like, I just got mad. Like, he was saying I was weak. So I literally dropped him. I'm talking blood was coming out of his nose. Like, I think I broke his jaw, right? I broke his jaw.
I feel like you're lying to us.
I was like, this is really the edit then, right? This was...
He was showing how far he could go with his little lies.
but no. I honestly think a major part of it, because like I said, it didn't show a lot. Me and Fessy had built a pretty decent relationship at this time. I think maybe 40, almost even 50% of it is like, I don't even want to come down there, you know what I'm saying? Because Joseph's down there. But another part of it was, you know, I don't think the ring was visible from like where we were at. I don't think the ring was placed in the middle, because once I was standing down there, I just saw poles. And I honestly thought I was going to mop anybody, because I thought it was going to be like suicides, like get a rope, like run. Like I thought it was going to have to do something involved with like running. And I was like, I'll literally outrun anybody here, because running is like one of the main things I did in preparation. I was actually preparing for a marathon before the show called. So I was like, in terms of cardio, like y'all gonna have to see me. So once they put the ring out, I was like, man, shoot. So
we have something in common, Joseph. I had just finished a half marathon when I got on Big Brother. So I was ready. I was ready.
Yeah, heck yeah. Good to go. Yo, what's that show like? Because a lot of people, I didn't know about like none of these shows. I didn't know about Big Brother.
You don't even know about Big Brother. Big Brother's not something that you should watch. Survivor.
Like what show should I have called next is the question.
Survivor.
I feel like you would thrive on Survivor. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what Natalie was on.
Do you have Netflix? Because Survivor just added their best season ever, Cagayan, to Netflix. Yeah. You will literally love it. It is.
I love that. That one is a good one.
Don't even try for Big Brother, because if you're not gonna like bullshit with people, there's no point in going on the show. Like,
you're not gonna lie to someone's face. I already know those Southern roots. It's not gonna happen.
Hey, give it to James Norman. He said, "One last donation, Kemi. I made the GIF, the gift for you."
Wait,
so we got.
He said he tweeted it to you.
Yeah, see, that's how fast it works, Joseph. God damn, we got to.
What is that?
That's your GIF. That's your GIF. He just means it.
Okay, all right. Cool.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I think the next straw I'm gonna hit is The Bachelor after this.
Okay.
Yeah. See if we can get them to call. You know what I'm saying? Give me like a whole lot, like Hannah's going on in there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I could see you.
Bachelor does love their Hannahs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bachelor loves their Hannahs, and I think they would love a little bit of you in paradise. Maybe a Bachelor in paradise.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a paradise man. I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Facts. Oh my gosh. We
honestly, wait a minute. Would you do X on the Beach? Because I heard that they're coming out with a new season. I don't know. Maybe hit up the producers, ask them, hook you up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like what would I do on X on the Beach?
They don't do anything but sit around and drink. So
yeah.
You should do Are You the One?
Trouble. Yeah.
I love Are You the One.
I'm just gonna tell you this, Joseph. People have been saying that you're giving big David energy, and Big David. Yeah, Big David energy. So Kemi and
I don't know who that is.
I know.
Yeah,
Kemi and I were on the same season of Big Brother with a guy named David. And
I thought that was like a code name for something.
And as we were watching you, we're like, yeah. Kemi was like, he's giving me David.
It's the philosophy talk or the psychology talk that definitely gives David vibes.
Yeah, he's very in that.
David's from the South too, though. David's from Atlanta, so he's not super far from me, and I feel like that probably is part of it. But
and I want to tell you that Miss History said that she's from DFW, and I know that's really close, probably to you, Joseph. So
yeah,
Miss History is your neighbor. We're really jealous about that because she's cool.
Yeah. Well, y'all mentioning the psychology talk. What do y'all mean per se?
Wait.
Nah, because now I feel like I might have to throw hands with some people. What's going on? Don't make me go get the mustard, shorty.
Wait, before you explain this, do any of you guys follow Drewski Too Funny?
Yes. Hell yeah, that dude is the funniest.
Literally what you just said, like, what do you mean by that? He just did a skit. I was just cracking up.
Where he has his phone with the flashlight, and he's like what is it, an attorney or whatever, and like he's like yo, like you can confess anything you want to say, you know what I'm saying? No one gonna know, you know. Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, but the psychology talk. David read, what was the book called that he read?
He was very philosophical. So it was a lot about
David said that like when he was in Sequester, like before he went on this second season that he was on of like Big Brother All Stars, that he read like, was it a book on like emotional intelligence? Was that it? Or
it was how to be a leader, how to be a leader or
something like that. It was something like that. And whereas
is it this book? Hold on.
We have the same book. I'm gonna.
Hold on.
I was like, wait, hold on. It's because they read the same book. That's what it is.
Gamer, because that's definitely a gamer chair.
That is.
Nah, I'm a music producer, mix master, engineer. The whole album was made right here, so I got to spend a lot of time.
You look like you're on your like a Twitch channel or something.
Nah, I don't got time for games, Hannah.
Me neither.
I'm just gonna be like this. I was like, this is interesting.
No. So I got this book. I don't know if it's gonna be able to be seen. So it says How to Lead in a World of Distractions.
Ooh,
no.
I'm pretty sure we can ask if we can find out on his list.
Yeah, he's probably reading that one How to Lead Like Joseph Allen.
Oh, he knows the author.
We can hook you guys up because you guys are definitely kindred spirits. So.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna get one last one, and I think this one's gonna be from AJ. He says, "Ask Joseph, what fights have been edited out of the first and second episodes?"
Oh, that's a good question.
What fights?
Yeah, was there any beef that was edited that we didn't see?
Man, I mean, first couple weeks, I'm not 100% sure there was like any fights like worth like. I would say none. I would say none. I know like they say like Liv and Tori, but you know, I feel like you know, anything that has to be seen will be seen. You know what I'm saying?
AJ said he was probably asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he woke up, you know. Watch out, dude.
I have one more question. What is your dog's name?
Bunky.
Bunky.
Yeah, it started off as a joke. So when I was living in LA last year, I was living with my videographer Parker and my best friend Anthony, and I started telling him, I was like, "Yo, like, I really want to get my hands on a dog, but like, if I get a dog, like, it's gonna be like off leash trained. He's gonna be able to like understand exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna have conversations with him and stuff." And I gave him this whole scenario where it's like, I was like, imagine I got a Jeep, I'm about to go to the beach, and as I head out to the Jeep, my dog sits there and he's like asking me pretty much if he can like come with me. And then he waits and waits and waits until I finally say, "All right, boy, let's go." And he jumps in the car, and they're like, there's no way you could train a dog to do that. So then I start doing research and I find this breed. But then they're like, "Yo, you're still capping. What would you name it?" Now, bunky was a word that we would use. Like, if you take someone out on a date and it went garbage, right? You'd be like, "Bro, that date was bunky, bro." Or if the food sucks, it's like, "Yo, this food is bunky." So I told him, I was like, "I'm going to name him Bunky." The day came where there was actually a Wheaten Terrier. That's what he is, like near where I was at. And I just rushed, went and got him. When I get there, the lady says, "Why do you want a puppy?" I'm like, "Yo, like, I just want to be a part of the whole story, yada, yada, yada." She then says, "What are you going to name him?" I didn't come up with any other name than Bunky, which was already, you know, like in my head. So I was like, "I'm gonna just name him Bunky." And the lady almost didn't let me buy him, but for a slight flex, you know what I'm saying? Watch this. Check this out. Hold on. All right, hey, stop.
So much bigger.
Check this out. I'm gonna give y'all a little example real quick. All right, come here, dude. Hey, stop. Good. Stomach.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, come here, boy. Stop. Yeah. Dude understands me fully. So it's really just a punctuation to a joke. I said I would do it, and I was in like a joking manner, but no, I pulled it off. And all that is to say that it's not psychology. When Joseph Allen says, when he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. And that's just fact.
Well, my dog understands me also, but he doesn't care. So, oh well.
It'd be like that sometimes. You probably just need, you know what I'm saying, like a man in your life that could really, you know, like really hold it down.
Oh,
and like, you know,
no, he listens to my man. He doesn't listen to me.
Yeah. I feel you.
I love this. Oh my God. We had so much fun.
No. I had a blast with you guys. This was definitely a lot of fun.
Please don't leave. Hold on just a second so we can say a proper goodbye backstage.
No. I'm about to get out of here.
Oh, are you?
I'm joking.
A jokester. I like it though. I like it. Yes. So thank you so much, everybody who is on right now watching us. Thank you all for the super chats, for entertaining us with your comments and questions and all of that. We're just gonna tell you, if you don't already click like and subscribe, if you are on, give us a thumbs up right now. Right now, share this. Make the gifs, the gifs, all that other good stuff. Share it with us so that we can retweet it. We love you guys so much. Joseph, tell everybody where they can follow you. What is up next with you and all that good stuff. We know that you would go on the challenge again if you were asked.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And then, so what are you doing now?
Yeah, right now I'm working with my team. We're putting out a full album, 22 songs. Got like some cool music videos and everything coming out.
Nice.
You can follow me at It's Joseph Allen. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. YouTube right now, I think we just hit over 150,000 subscribers. We're trying to figure out how to, like, you know what I'm saying, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, that thing, take it to the next level. But yeah, I mean, that's the main focus right now is just the music, making sure, you know, I could get this through the backyard. Right now we're like in an apartment, so we're gonna move in March out to Arizona. So yeah, main focus right now, taking care of my dude and you know, trying to take over the world. You know,
awesome. And if anybody wanted to follow you, where would they follow you at to keep posted on you?
Instagram at It's Joseph Allen.
Instagram at It's Joseph Allen. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Next week, Thursday, we have another person. We are not going to disclose the information just yet. So make sure you come every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, because Kemi loves it when I say 7 p.m. first. And next week, Monday, is our very final recap, or Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday, our final recap for the Bachelorette finale. So make sure you click like and subscribe. We love y'all. Peace out.
Bye.